Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Pattern is everything around in this digital world. A pattern can either be seen physically or it can be observed mathematically by applying algorithms. यानी हम सिंपल वर्ड में ये कह सकते हैं कि पैटर्न जो होता है उसे हम फिजिकली भी देख सकते हैं और उसे हम एल्गोरिदम को अप्लाई करके भी मैथमेटिकली भी ऑब्जर्व कर सकते हैं. एग्जाम्पल क्या है? द कलर्स ऑन द क्लॉथ, स्पीच पैटर्न, etc. In computer science, a pattern is represented using vector feature values. What is pattern recognition? Pattern recognition is the process of recognizing patterns by using a machine learning algorithm. Pattern recognition can be defined as the classification of data based on the knowledge already gained or on statistical information extracted from patterns or their representation. One of the important aspects of pattern recognition is its application potential. Examples है speech recognition, speaker identification, multimedia document recognition, automatic medical diagnosis. In typical pattern recognition application, the raw data is processed and converted into a form that is amenable for a machine to use. Pattern recognition involves the classification and cluster of patterns. In classification, an appropriate class label is assigned to a pattern based on an abstraction that is generated using a set of training patterns or domain knowledge. Classification used in supervised learning. Clustering generated a partition of the data which helps decision making. The specific decision making activity of interest was clustering used in unsupervised learning. Features may be represented as continuous, discrete, or discrete binary variables. A feature is a function of one or more measurements computed so that it quantifies some significant characteristics of the object. Example है, consider our face, then eyes, ears, nose, etc. are features of the face. A set of features that are taken together forms the feature vector. Example, in the above example of a face, if all the features eyes, ears, nose are taken together, then the sequence is the feature vector eyes, ears, nose. The feature vector is the sequence of a feature represented as a d-dimensional column vector. In the case of speech, male frequency capstral coefficient is the spectral feature of the speech. The sequence of the first 30 features forms a feature vector. Pattern recognition possesses the following features. Number one, pattern recognition system should recognize familiar patterns quickly and accurately. Number second, recognize and classify unfamiliar object. Number third, accurately recognize shapes and object from different angles. Identify patterns and object even when partly hidden. Recognize patterns quickly with ease and with automatically. Training and learning in pattern recognition. Learning is a phenomenon through which a system gets trained and becomes adaptable to give results in an accurate manner. Learning is the most important phase as to how well the system performs on the data provided to the system depends on which algorithms are used on the data. The entire data set is divided into two categories, one which is used in training the model, that is training set, the other that is used in testing the model after training is a testing set. Training set is used to build a model. It consists of the set of images that are used to train the system. Training rules and algorithms are used to give relevant information and how to associate input data with output decisions. The system is trained by applying these algorithms to the data set. All the relevant information is extracted from the data. Results and obtained. Generally 80% of the data of the data set is taken for training data. Testing data is used to test the system. It is the set of the data that is used to verify whether the system is producing the correct output after being trained or not. Generally 20% of the data set is used for testing. Testing data is used to measure the accuracy of the system. For example, a system that identifies which category a particular flower belongs to be is to able to identify 7 categories of flowers correctly out of 10 and the rest of the other wrong. Then the accuracy is 70%. यानी हम सिंपल वर्ड में हम ये कह सकते हैं, अगर आप 10 ऑब्जेक्ट देते हैं और 10 में से आपको वो 7 जो है वो एक्यूरेट बताता है, 3 जो है वो आपको एक्यूरेट नहीं बता रहा, इसका मतलब इसकी एक्यूरेसी जो है वो 70% होगी। डाटा है उसको हमने दो हिस्सों में डिवाइड कर दिया है, ट्रेनिंग डेटा में और टेस्टिंग डेटा में। ट्रेनिंग डेटा को उससे हम ट्रेनिंग से हमने सिस्टम को बिल्ड किया है और टेस्टिंग से हमने चेक किया है कि सिस्टम कितना हमारा करेक्ट है। Real-time example and explanations. A pattern is a physical object or an abstract notion. While talking about the classes of animals, a description of an animal would be a pattern. While talking about various types of balls, then a description of a ball is pattern. In the case balls considered as patterns. The classes could be football, cricket ball, table tennis ball. It is given a new pattern. The class of the pattern is to be determined. The choice of the attributes and representation of pattern is very important step in pattern classification. A good representation is one that makes use of discriminating attributes and also reduces the computational burden in pattern classifications. Obviously, representation of a pattern will be a vector. Each element of the vector can represent one attribute of the pattern. The first element of the vector will contain the value of the first attribute for the pattern being considered. Example है, while representing spherical object 25 and 1. 25 जो है वो ज़ाहिर कर रहा है यूनिट्स ऑफ वेट को और 1 जो है वो ज़ाहिर कर रहा है डायमीटर को। क्लास लेबल कैन फॉर्म ए पार्ट ऑफ द वेक्टर। ए spherical object belong to class 1. The vector would be 25 1 1. फर्स्ट 25 जो है वो यूनिट्स ऑफ वेट है, सेकंड जो 1 है वो डायमीटर है और थर्ड जो 1 है वो क्लास को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है। इसके एडवांटेज क्या होते हैं जी? पैटर्न कैलकुलेशन जो है वो सॉल्व करता है क्लासिफिकेशन प्रॉब्लम को। नंबर सेकंड पे है पैटर्न कैलकुलेशन जो है वो सॉल्व करता है प्रॉब्लम को ऑफ फेक बायोमेट्रिक डिटेक्शन के। नंबर 3, इट इज़ यूजफुल फॉर क्लॉथ पैटर्न रिकग्निशन फॉर विजुअली इम्पेयर्ड ब्लाइंड पीपल। जो ब्लाइंड पीपल हैं उनके लिए भी ये पैटर्न को रिकग्नाइज करने के लिए इस्तेमाल होता है। इट्स हेल्प्स इन स्पीकर डायलिजेशन के इस्तेमाल करते हैं। वी कैन रिकग्नाइज पार्टिकुलर ऑब्जेक्ट फ्रॉम डिफरेंट एंगल से हम डिफरेंट जो है पार्टिकुलर ऑब्जेक्ट्स को रिकग्नाइज भी कर सकते हैं। डिसएडवांटेज क्या है? द सिंटैक्टिकल पैटर्न रिकग्निशन अप्रोच इज़ कम्प्लेक्स टू इम्प्लीमेंट एंड इज़ वेरी स्लो प्रोसेस। इसका इम्प्लीमेंट करना बहुत मुश्किल है। नंबर सेकंड, समटाइम्स टू गेट बेटर एक्यूरेसी लार्जर डेटा सेट आपको रिक्वायर्ड होगा। नंबर थर्ड पे है इट कैन बी एक्सप्लेन वाई पार्टिकुलर ऑब्जेक्ट इज रिकग्नाइज। हाँ, हम एक्सप्लेन नहीं कर सकते कि पार्टिकुलर ऑब्जेक्ट जो है क्यों वो रिकग्नाइज कर रहा है। एग्जाम्पल, माई फेस वाज माई फ्रेंड फेस। एप्लीकेशन जो है जी इमेज प्रोसेसिंग, सेगमेंटेशन एंड एनालिसिस। पैटर्न रिकग्निशन इज यूज टू गिव ह्यूमन रिकग्निशन इंटेलिजेंस to machines that are required in image processing. Computer vision pattern recognition is used to extract meaningful features from given image, video samples and used in computer vision for various applications like biological and biomedical imaging. Seismic analysis. The pattern recognition approach is used for the discovery, imaging and interpretation of temporal patterns in seismic array recording. Statistical pattern recognition is implemented and used in different types of seismic analysis models. Radar signal classification or analysis. Pattern recognition and signal processing methods are used in various applications of radar signal classification like AP, mine detection and identification. Speech recognition. The greatest success in speech recognition has been obtained using pattern recognition paradigm. It is used in various algorithms of speech recognition, which tries to avoid the problems of using a phenomena level of description and treats larger units such as words as pattern. Fingerprint recognition technology is a dominant technology in the biometric market. A number of recognition methods have been used to perform the fingerprint matching, out of which pattern recognition approaches are widely used. बायोमेट्रिक जो है सबसे जो है बेहतरीन तरीका है इसकी आइडेंटिफिकेशन करने का। अभी तक आपने चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया, इसको आप सब्सक्राइब कर लें और इसको आप शेयर भी करें, वीडियो को लाइक भी करें। थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग।